KD is a low down dude, bro. I'm gonna tell you something about him, bro. He went on the Mind of the Game podcast and basically exposed and sold his soul to LeBron James, bro. Like the fact that this Mind of the Game podcast with LeBron James, it just spewing BS narrative and just like trying to push an agenda, right? KD, you fraud, bro. I can't take what you say serious. Now, KD went on the Mind of the Game podcast, bro, and he sat there and said this, right? And this was a shot to Michael Jordan, right? And uplifting LeBron James. Let's take a listen to what he sat there and said, man.
You drove me every day. Go and watch your games, watch your box scores. I'm like, all right, if he on that level, why can't I try to be at that same level too? So that drive, but then you look at guys who didn't necessarily pan out, and you know their situation, and you want to avoid that too. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, all of that stuff plays a factor, but it's not just one or two or three things that make you a good basketball player, things you have to do to be a great basketball player. It's so much you got to retain and understand in order for you to get the full potential out of yourself, you know what I'm saying? And the research is a big part, in my opinion, of becoming a great basketball player. Who you listening to talk the game, what you watching, how you watching it, how you watching film. You know what I'm saying? Are you researching old players and see what they did to understand the foundation they laid down for you?
Are you being real with yourself?
Are you being real with yourself when you watch film? Are you holding yourself accountable after games? Right after the game, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff you got to ask yourself. You got to recommit to this game. Just like you sign a new contract, every time you get better as a player, I truly feel that you got to recommit and sign that contract with yourself every so often. Like, all right, yeah, I'm 10, 12 years in, I got 4 MVPs and 4 championships. Like, but do I still want to do this shit? You know what I'm saying?
Because you know how hard it is.
Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
Right?
Yeah. And then I want to come back. Or some people say, I'm going to go 22 straight. And, you know what I'm saying? So it's a contract I feel like you got to...
Oh, my gosh, man. Hey, you can't make this up. KD is nothing but a dick sucker, bro. Like, bro, this is nothing but a Michael Jordan diss, bro. A Michael Jordan headshot. And it's crazy coming for a nigga like KD who has literally talking about commitment when you have literally team hop. When you sat there and said you were going to run it back with OKC, when you sat there and said that you want to spend your whole career in Brooklyn, when you sat there and said this is the only place that you want to be in Phoenix, and you talk about commitment, the irony, and you talk about commitment, get out of here, bro. And it's just a diss to Michael Jordan, and I think that people just got to stop running with this. And this is why I sat there and said this is nothing but just a narrative thing, bro. This is literally nothing but just a narrative thing, bro. This narrative that Michael Jordan quit basketball because he was not committed is just crazy and needs to lack context. Michael Jordan came off of 3 straight championships, 3 straight finals MVPs, had some of the most dominant 3-year peak seasons we ever seen, right? And his father just passed. And plus he wanted to pursue his father's dream and his dream in baseball, right? And Michael Jordan playing baseball is more accomplishments than any LeBron James and KD combined. So to sit there and try to sit there and say that Michael Jordan wasn't committed because he left the game to go play baseball, and you try to throw a jab at Michael Jordan unwillingly, right? It's just crazy and it lacks context. But it's coming for a guy in KD who, at the end of the day, you quit on organizations. You left organizations. You was not committed in anything. What are you talking about? And this longevity thing is so blown out of proportion to uplift LeBron James in any status of him being in the conversation of Michael Jordan. The uplift LeBron James in any breath of a GOAT debate, because that's the only thing they can bring up. But I sat there and said this: as good as how long you was great for, that is not more important than peak level dominance, right? Longevity, yeah, you can be good for that many long times of periods, right? You can be good for 10, 15 plus 20 years. But the problem is that factors into luck. Like, LeBron James was lucky in his career to not sustain any season injury, to not sustain any almost career ending injury. LeBron James didn't suffer no torn Achilles. LeBron James didn't suffer no torn ACL. LeBron James didn't suffer no significant knee damage, right? So LeBron James was lucky. He was lucky to be able to play for 22 years because there's players in the NBA that work as hard as LeBron James. Kawhi Leonard, for example. Kawhi Leonard worked as hard as LeBron James in the gym. Even Tyronn Lue said that. Even players that have played next to LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard sat there and said Kawhi Leonard worked as hard as LeBron James. But Kawhi Leonard is not lucky because at the end of the day, he got into some injuries that you just can't, control. Knee damage, degenerative knees, those are things that Kawhi Leonard can't control. No matter how well he, trained his knee. No, how well that he gets into the gym and work hard. Those are things that you just can't control. Which hurts Kawhi Leonard longevity, which hurts Kawhi Leonard all-time stats, which hurt Kawhi Leonard all-time rankings because of longevity. But Kawhi can't control that. Kawhi can't control him getting hurt or not. He get into the gym. He works hard, just as LeBron. But one guy is lucky in LeBron James. And Kawhi Leonard is not. Longevity is based off of luck. Why I'm going to value something so high, which is based off of luck? It literally is. It's based off of luck. LeBron James was lucky to be able to sustain that greatness that long time because he didn't suffer any season injury. He didn't suffer no season injury. He didn't suffer no season-ending injury. He didn't suffer no career-ending injury. He didn't have to battle back for anything. But we all know that LeBron James with the PEDs and, allegedly, the Balco and, what Victor Carte and Chael Sonnen had to sit there and say. But that's for a different conversation. But this narrative to just sit there and uplift LeBron James with this longevity BS and to slander Michael Jordan and try to change the dynamic and try to change the conversation about Michael Jordan as he quit basketball is just crazy. Like, it's crazy. And KD a clown. KD a clown for that, bro. That's some dick riding shit right there. You talking about commitment, and we talking about a guy that's left multiple teams, and you talking about the level of commitment, and then you want to get on Michael Jordan? You want to slander Michael Jordan name? Oh my gosh. LeBron can't talk about no commitment. He has left team hopping every time. This is a guy that sat there and said rings are not the end all be all. And we talking about a guy that is literally team hop and sat there and said not one, not two, not three, not four. That championship made me the greatest player of all time. This is the dude for Double Talk, and the KD came on his podcast just a dick suck. Got on his knees and gobble, 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 gobble. That's what KD was doing. KD a clown, bruh. That's some clown. I don't want to hear none of that, bruh. I'm glad I reacted to that video because it just shows y'all that these NBA basketball players have something against Michael Jordan. They do. They just jealous of Michael Jordan. Talk about commitment and not bring up the context of why he left basketball. What are we doing here, bruh? Like, y'all don't talk about how the man's father died. You don't talk about how the man wanted to play baseball. What are you talking about? Those are things that he wanted to fulfill. You got to understand, when a guy is dealing with that much of grief, you got to let the man grieve. What are you talking about, man? It's all longevity BS, man. KD a clown, bro. He a clown. He is a clown. And he want to go on podcasts to sit there and suck up LeBron James. He go do that. He go do that. But LeBron James is nowhere near the level of Michael Jordan. LeBron James can never sit there and say he has never had the peak of Michael Jordan. He can never sit there and say he had the peak of Michael Jordan. Never. 3 straight championships, 3 straight finals MVP. Every time when he won a finals MVP, he made first team All-NBA, first team All-Defensive Team. What are we talking about here, bro? 10 scoring titles. If you combine LeBron James and KD scoring titles, Michael Jordan still come over the top. One of the greatest scorers in NBA history. One of the greatest playoff scorers, the greatest playoff scorers, the greatest playoff scorer in NBA history, the greatest playoff finals performer in NBA history. His game is scalable at its highest. Stop it, man. I don't want to hear none of this shit, man. BS.